Level 1. The purchase.
The smell hits you first, that unmistakable scent of leather, newness, and a faint hint of chemicals. It smells exactly like ambition. You are sitting in the driver's seat of a brand new metallic black Camaro SS. The salesman just stepped away to run the numbers. You both know the deal is already done. You just haven't signed the paper yet. You are 25 years old. For the first time in your life, you have a job that pays real money. Not never worry again money, but money with commas. After years of painfully watching every single dollar, those commas feel like pure oxygen. The seat hugs you like it was custom built for your body. The steering wheel is cool in your hands. Outside, the dealership lot glitters in the afternoon sun. You think to yourself, I earned this. You didn't just earn the down payment, you earned this exact moment. You earned the right to want something beautiful and actually go get it. The salesman returns. The number in his folder is $947 a month, a 60-month loan on a $48,000 car. He reads the payment to you like it is a fact of nature, like the weather, unavoidable. You sign. On the drive home, the windows are down. The sound system hits your chest in a way that feels almost physical. For the first time, you feel the exact thing you have been chasing your entire life. You finally feel like a somebody. But here's what nobody tells you about that feeling. It has an expiration date, and the billing cycle starts immediately. Level 2. The show. Within a week, everyone knows about the car. You didn't even have to announce it. You simply pulled into Marcus's driveway on a Saturday, and the energy in the yard completely shifted. 3 people walked outside just to look at it. Your cousin circled it twice without saying a word. Your mother, who has never cared about cars in her life, asked you to drive her to church. She sat in the passenger seat, sitting just a little straighter than usual. Without anyone saying a word, you realized the car did something you couldn't do on your own. It translated your success into a language everyone instantly understands. Status, arrival, proof. So you lean into it. You park in the most visible spots. You leave for work 10 minutes early just so you can take the long way through the neighborhood. When people ask about it, you shrug and say, it's just a car. But you say it in a way that begs them to disagree, and they always do. This is the performance, and the performance works perfectly. People look at you differently. A woman you tried to impress for 2 years suddenly wants to go for a drive. A coworker who used to ignore you starts stopping by your desk. Even your quiet, practical father puts his hand on the hood and says, "Nice machine, son." His words land deep in your chest. You mistake all of this for respect. You don't realize yet that admiration and respect are 2 completely different things. Admiration fades the second the car gets old. Respect grows quietly in the dark. It compounds in the spreadsheets and the midnight decisions that nobody ever sees. But that lesson is still 5 years away. Right now, it is Saturday night, the windows are down, and you feel like the person you always wanted to be. The bill will come. It always comes, but not yet.
Level 3. The crack. It is month 4. The payment comes out on the 12th. You set up auto-pay because manually watching nearly $1,000 leave your account every single month felt like a self-inflicted wound. Now the money just vanishes quietly. That is how slow damage always works. But $947 is not what a car actually costs. You know this now. There is the insurance, $310 a month, because a 25-year-old guy in a sports car is a massive risk to the insurance company. There is the gas. The massive V8 engine burns premium fuel like it is completely free. Then comes the first repair at month 3. Just a minor sensor, but it costs $340. That brings a quiet, heavy realization. This car will always need something. It will never stop costing you. Add it all up. The payment, the insurance, the fuel, the average monthly maintenance. You are spending over $1,500 a month. That's more than $18,000 a year. The average car costs an American about 12 grand a year. Yours is bleeding you dry. The monthly payment was just the headline. The rest was the fine print nobody bothered to read to you. So you adjust. You stop eating out. You push back a vacation. You tell yourself it's only temporary. You'll get a raise soon. Everything will balance out. This is what financial stress actually feels like. It doesn't happen in a massive explosion. It happens in a series of tiny cuts. Your world gets a little smaller. Your margin for error gets a little thinner. And you barely notice because every sacrifice seems perfectly reasonable at the time. But here's the brutal truth about feeling fine. Fine is exactly how the water feels right before it boils you alive. Level 4. The math. You're 27. The car is still beautiful. The payment still drains your account on the 12th. But something else has happened. Something that arrives on a quiet Tuesday afternoon. Your friend Devon just put a down payment on a house. Devon drives a beat-up 6-year-old Honda Civic with a cracked dashboard. You have worked with Devon for 3 years. You make the exact same salary. Alone in your room, you pull out your phone calculator. A heavy feeling settles in your chest. Devon was quietly saving $1,200 a month. He put it into an automatic, invisible investment account. Nobody at a party ever asked him about his investments. Nobody gathered in a driveway to stare at his mutual funds. His money just grew quietly in the background. Meanwhile, the car you bought for $48,000 has already lost 20% of its value. Nearly 10 grand completely evaporated into thin air while the car just sat in a parking lot looking pretty. In 5 years, that gorgeous machine will be worth less than 20 grand. But here's the number that truly breaks your heart. $12,000 a year, the real cost of keeping the car. If you had put that money into a basic investment account for 5 years, you would have over $73,000 by the time you turn 30. $73,000 is not a fantasy. It is a house down payment. It is a completely different life. It is the version of you who has freedom and options instead of heavy obligations. You sit with that number. You look out the window at the gleaming car in the parking lot. It has no idea what it is costing you. It doesn't know about Devon's new house. You close the calculator. You don't sell the car. Not yet. Admitting what it costs means admitting what you've been doing to yourself for 2 years. You're not ready for that kind of honesty. But the crack is open now, and the light is pouring in.
Level 5. The wait. It is month 31. You are sitting in the car in a dark parking garage just before midnight. The engine is off. It is just you and the machine you bought to feel important. You were passed over for a promotion today. You weren't fired, you weren't humiliated, you were just quietly pushed aside. But that is not why you are sitting here in the dark. You are here because you finally did the real math. You opened every bank account at the same time and stared at the truth without blinking. In less than 3 years, you have paid over $29,000 toward this car. But the car is only worth $27,000 on the open market, and you still owe $27,000 on the loan. Your net financial position is a disaster. You are 30 grand in the hole on a piece of metal that loses value every single time the sun comes up. And then comes the statistic that completely guts you. The average age of a first-time home buyer used to be 33. Today, it is 38. What happened in those 5 years? Car payments happened. The desperate need to look rich happened. Transferring real wealth into fake status happened. You are 27, and the math proves you are already falling behind. You are one broken transmission, one medical bill, or one unexpected layoff away from complete financial ruin. The car is completely silent. It is the exact same car you bought years ago. You are the one who has changed. You are the one doing the math in the dark and hating the answers. You go upstairs. You do not sleep. Level 6. The letting go. You sell the car on a Wednesday. There is no grand ceremony. You list it online, answer a few messages, and a polite guy named Robert hands you a cashier's check in a plain white envelope. You stand in the parking lot and watch the taillights disappear around the corner. You feel a wave of grief that completely surprises you. You aren't crying over the car. You are grieving the 25-year-old kid who bought it. You are grieving that feeling of rolling the windows down, blasting the music, and finally feeling like your life was going somewhere. You settle the loan. After nearly 3 years of brutal payments, expensive insurance, fuel, and repairs, you walk away with exactly $4,200. That is it. That is the entire material result of spending over $1,500 a month for 3 years. You quietly put that money into an investment account. You don't tell a soul. 2 weeks later, you're driving a used Honda Accord. It costs you $280 a month. It has 54,000 miles and a scratch above the back wheel. And then something incredible happens. You feel completely light. You aren't thrilled. You haven't proven anyone wrong, but a massive, invisible weight has finally been lifted off your shoulders. Nobody circles the Honda. Nobody comes outside to look at it. Your cousin doesn't want to take it for a spin. You sit in that silence, waiting for it to sting, but it doesn't. That silence tells you everything you need to know about what you were actually searching for when you walked into that dealership years ago.
Level 7. The truth. You are now 30 years old. Devon's house has a big yard. He hosted a barbecue last month. You stood on his patio, smelling the charcoal, holding a beer, and feeling a complicated mix of emotions. You were proud of him, but you felt a sharp sting for yourself. You finally have a crystal clear understanding of what the sports car actually cost you. It wasn't $48,000. It wasn't even the $73,000 in lost investments. The car cost you time. It stole 5 years of your financial youth. In the world of compound interest, your 20s are the most expensive years of your life to waste. When you blow money at 25, you aren't just losing cash, you are robbing your future self of freedom. Options are the only things that actually matter in this game. Here is the ultimate truth about ego-driven spending. It never feels like ego at the time. It feels like a reward. It feels like self-respect. It feels like I worked hard, I came from nothing, and I deserve something beautiful. That hunger to be seen and respected is not a flaw. It is a deeply human desire. But the car never actually gave you respect. It only gave you the temporary illusion of it. It was a rented costume. While you were busy looking rich, actual wealth, the growing accounts, the home equity, the freedom to quit a toxic job was slipping further and further away. At 30, you finally understand the difference. Buying something you enjoy is fine.
Buying something just to prove your worth to other people is a trap. One is an expression, the other is a performance. One costs money, the other costs years of your life. The sports car was a very expensive sentence about who you wanted the world to think you were. But what you really needed was the quiet, invisible work of building real wealth. True success does not need an audience to be real. You think back to your 25-year-old self in that dealership. You don't hate him. You understand exactly what he was chasing. You just wish someone had sat in the passenger seat and told him, the respect you are looking for is real, but you won't find it in a car. Dignity and freedom live in the bank accounts you build when nobody is looking. They live in the quiet decisions you make late at night. They live in choosing your future over a fake performance. The sports car told everyone where you wanted to go, but the bank account you ignored told the brutal truth about whether you would ever get there. At 30, you are finally getting there. You are moving a little slower in a used Honda, and your investment account isn't massive yet, but it is pointing in the exact right direction. You are quietly building the ultimate destination, freedom. You didn't need a better car, you needed a better question, and 5 years later, you finally know what it is. Subscribe so you never miss the next lesson. See you next time.